breaking in live, right, Muench?
Right.
How are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a great day.
It has been a great day. So I thought we'd be coming in live, right, and joining. And thank you, everyone who's involved. I got to make sure I pull up our link here. I'm always just scrambled at this point in the day. I'm just overloaded, and I love it. I thought we're going to be breaking into like a battle, Illinois versus Indiana, tight game. For a while, I actually thought Miami was going to run away with it. And then Miami, now it's 19-7. They've kind of regained composure and are just the trenches, right? I mean, this has not been Carson Beck's best night. The passing game did not get going. I give Florida so much credit for hanging around in this football game, that defense that we can get to in a second. But they're finally imposing their will here at the end. And so 19-7, and they're driving inside the 10-yard line right now. So welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you being here. Everyone who's watching on YouTube, which you have to be at this point because we are live, we want to thank you. But there's a sneaky game going on right now that I'm fascinated by. There's a minute 17 left, Muench. I don't know if you have it pulled up there. I'll keep you informed on it. Baylor 24, Arizona State 24.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, watching Auburn today, what they did to John Mateer, and thinking back to over 400 yards passing for Sawyer Robertson.
Yeah, it looks good now, huh?
It looks really good. So a lot going on. I'll find YouTube here somewhere so we can connect with all of our fans.
Oh, have you not seen the comments yet?
No, why? What's up? Talk to me.
Evan Holly's dropping a can't wait to see.
Evan.
Can't wait to see the Brian Haas fire Dabo tonight.
You and Portnoy are the only two people in the country who call Dabo Sweeney Dabo.
I know. He leaned in this morning. I'm leaning in now.
All right. So it must be a New England thing. Can Miami win the title this season? It's already thrown out there. I'm clicking yes. I think they can. I was asking myself that question sitting downstairs, Muench, in the first quarter after that first drive. The first series, watching them just, shut Florida down. And then more importantly, that first drive of the game.
Dominant up front.
Evan Holly's become a real star of this show. All right. So here we are. It's 24-24. I don't know. I guess because I'm a Sawyer Robertson guy and I was hoping Sam Leavitt was going to have a great season. They've both kind of had ups and downs. Both defenses have shined in that Arizona State Baylor game. But the quarterbacks have kind of taken over late in this one.
After kind of a sluggish start, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. And Sawyer had a really good drive to get him down. They've kind of got him back in this game. They've been trailing and chipping away. Now Sam Leavitt's got the ball. They've got it at the 37-yard line. Baylor's 37. They're driving. And now they're right about a first down. So they're in position to kick a field goal to win this game. And Baylor's going to be one of the best two-loss teams out there. It's good to see them playing a little bit defense. But welcome in, everyone. Excited to have you. Still have USC Michigan State tonight, too.
Yeah.
And you know me, we'll get to the top 12 in a little bit.
That game's just about to kick. They haven't even started, right? That game's at 11.
Yeah. And you know me, I like to sneak in 14 to 15 teams in my top 12.
Here we go.
And I think USC is sneaking around the chicken coop a little bit.
Love it.
So yeah. Here we are. I mean, I get let's watch the end of this Baylor Arizona State game for a little bit, even though it's not where we expected to go. Who cares?
Right.
It's our show. It's 11 o'clock at night. And we'll take it where we want to go. And then we'll kind of rejoin and get it going. But what's everyone? Fire Billy Napier. Siggy. Joseph Mitland's just loving Siggy. Well, what's your deal on Signetti?
RCF?
You explain to our friends what RCF is.
RCF is resting Signetti face. That is the face he has on. If his team's up 100-0, Signetti's still got that sourpuss on. He's still upset about something. he's still got that, just not happy. I think he'd almost rather win ugly and have something to coach up right away than he would like to just blow teams out. So he's got RCF, resting Signetti face.
You like to come on. See, what happens is you sit up there in New Hampshire, where, by the way, thoughts and prayers go out to Sky Meadow Country Club. A live shoot,
active shooter,
active shooter. But you like to sit up there in New Hampshire and stew all day. Like last week, you came on and you're just shredding Penn State a little bit, and really shredding Brian Kelly. And this week you're on resting Signetti face. I like it though. I gotta be honest.
I love Signetti. By the way, I'm kind of a hypocrite because I gave Kelly a hard time for being miserable last week, but I kind of like it on Signetti because he's the underdog. He's the grumpy underdog. So I'm a hypocrite. I freely admit it.
You affectionately are saying
yes
that he's resting Signetti face. That's very hypocritical. All right, Miami just scored.
Very hypocritical. Absolutely.
Miami just scored, so it's 25-7 pending the extra point. I'll tell you one thing about Miami.
Okay.
It is proven that this Florida defense, if it had any kind of offense to balance things out and to keep it fresh, and if it had a fair fight, I think you could argue through 4 weeks, this Florida defense is top 5 in the country. Truly.
5, yeah. I mean, without looking at it, I know they're damn good.
I mean, the reason why people are like, well, Nussmeier sucks too. McShay, Klubnik sucks. Nussmeier sucks. Arch sucks, right? But the reason why Nussmeier kind of got snuck in there, like even though he's undefeated, is because in large part, I mean, the Clemson game, they started out slow, but they came on strong in the second half. Florida made things really difficult, and that passing game just was not going for LSU. But maybe, I mean, they did it to Carson Beck now, and Carson Beck was rolling.
Yeah, remember LSU only scored 13 on them. The LSU had a touchdown return on an interception. So that looks like 20, but it was only 13 on that defense.
So maybe Florida's just a great defense. But I want to say this about Miami, and we'll get into a lot about Miami, but they're championship built. And I say that because they do have a veteran quarterback who can, even when doesn't have his best stuff and the passing game doesn't have its best, he's making better decisions. He understands what it is to be a veteran quarterback. And Georgia taught him tight games, defense playing well, running the football, how to kind of manage things when the passing game.
It's like you say, he's been in a lot of wars. You say he's been in a lot of wars. This guy's been in a lot of wars. He's seen a lot of stuff. I mean, that's a real benefit for them.
But the reason I say they're championship built is because, and I think they touched on it too, like the body blows add up. That defense, they don't hit you. They violently strike you. And that offensive line, well, it wasn't perfect tonight, and the pass protection could have been better. They wear on you.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is in the fourth quarter, if they have any sort of lead, they do exactly what they did tonight. The Canes start leaning on you and grinding you, and they rob you of your will. And that Florida defense has so much freaking will. Like with a
lot of pride, man.
Oh my gosh. They have so much to be proud of and nothing to show for it. Truly. This will be their third loss of the season.
What's going on? Is Arizona State about to attempt a field goal here?
It looks like it. It's a huge win for Miami. And I am absolutely, positively obsessed with Corey Heatherman.
I know you are, man. You can't get over it. It's great, though. I love it.
Violence, playing fast with energy. Arizona State kicked it. Final score, no time left. 27-24.
That's a nice win for them. They needed that, I feel like.
They did. I'm just a Sawyer Robertson guy, so I'm not pulling for or against, but I just feel like he's done a lot of good things, and Dave Aranda can't quite turn the corner with that team.
Right.
All right. Focus is here now.
It's kind of to back up what you're saying here, right? It's almost the way Miami won tonight. It wasn't pretty, and they still won 26-7 against a pretty good Florida team that's backed into the corner, who's coming out swinging, who has not arguably a great defense, and they still win that game without their quarterback playing well. And again, to speak to the defense, I can't remember the last time a Miami defense played like this. They are all over the place right now. They are big. They are physical up front. I feel like they're deep. Their linebackers run super well. Super well. They are all over the place.
We got Yeo already rolling about Ruben Bain. We got Brian Haas talking about Omar Cooper's a beast. We'll get to Cooper. We got Evan Hawley firing everyone, I'm sure. He just said he gave the scissors for Lagway. You're going to cut Lagway. We got Marcus Milner talking about South Carolina, -9 rushing yards. We've got a crew with us, all right? And I'm excited about it. It's time, Muench. It's time to do a recap show. So I want to tell the folks it's 215 days until the NFL draft, and I want to ask you the question I ask you before we start every show. Muench, you good?
I'm good, man.
All right, Tucker, let's roll that damn thing. All right, I didn't mean to cut you off, Muench. I never mean to cut you off, but it just felt like it was time to start doing our recap show. So let's get serious.
Yeah.
It wasn't the right ending to Miami, Florida that we were kind of hoping for to talk through it. That's fine. We caught the end of Baylor, Arizona State. Nice win, Sun Devils. Baylor's a good team. They're just not there yet. And Sawyer Robertson's a really good quarterback. I'm excited to see how he continues to develop, but it wasn't enough tonight. I just clicked it on. It's going to be in the backdrop. We got USC, Michigan State. Aiden Childs has shown a lot. Please, people, stop. When you see someone with exciting weapons who's not played enough ball and isn't there, stop the conversation about 2026 draft. We'll see him in 2027. He's super talented. Hope he has an awesome game against USC tonight. We'll see him in 2027 with Arch, with Lagway. There's a lot of really talented young men playing college football that need more time to develop. But I want to get to Florida, Miami now.
Let's do it.
It's interesting because it's an impressive win, but it was not a dominant win. They did not run away with it. They imposed their will late. And that comes from a series of body blows and fighting and being more physical in the trenches, even though physical was the calling card, physical, aggressive, all the things that Florida's defense was. But at the end of the day, Miami had a semblance of a respectable, balanced offense, and Florida didn't. And Florida's defense couldn't just, at some point the water takes over the vessel and cracks come in and there's a flood, right?
You see what Lagway finished for passing yards?
No, tell me.
61. They averaged 2.8 yards per carry tonight.
Like Brian Haas comes on our live feed every Saturday night. If you're on the live feed, I just want to give some background.
With bad intentions every time.
Yeah, I mean, I've just read it. Fire Dabo. What do you call him? Dabo. Yeah, I was trying to make fun of you and I got it wrong. Dabo Swinney, he wants to fire Dabo. He wants to cut Lagway from the Florida football team. I mean, that's just who he is. So just let him cook. Let him do his thing. Occasionally he'll come on with something legitimate. And he's asking that there's another game, but he's all over the place. But I want to ask you this. We haven't seen Penn State play anybody, and we've got Oregon next week, and I'm thrilled. And Dante Moore, by the way, is
can't wait, man. Decory Moore, Dante Moore, that offense it's fun. Noah Winnington, that offensive line, that all those transfers.
It is put up or shut up time for Drew Aller next week.
Yeah, it is. I cannot wait.
We're going to dive into his tape a little bit this week. I've had a couple calls from scouts and somebody else who's involved. I'm going to do some more deep dive into Aller, what we've seen so far, but I don't want to say none of it matters, but what matters is he ready to perform in these big type of games? But I guess the question I want to ask you is, how many teams right now do you believe are better than Miami?
Okay. Ohio State, LSU, and Oregon. And I'll tell you right now,
Oregon's interesting.
I know. And again, I'm a prove it guy. And I don't know. For the longest time now, I think since the beginning of the season, I have just believed. I said Will Stein and Dante Moore, man. I said to you, roll the tape, man. I said to you, look at what Will Stein has done with other quarterbacks who maybe weren't as talented. When Bo Nixon got to Oregon, Bo Nixon, they used to drive me nuts at Auburn. There's no way this guy's going to be that great in Oregon. And then Will Stein turns him into an NFL quarterback. Dylan Gabriel, same thing. And then now he's got a guy who I think has more talent than both of those other quarterbacks. And I just believed in it. I just thought that Will Stein was going to develop him. And so far, so good. So they haven't shown enough yet. I get it. But I believe in Oregon. I think that defense is really good. The run game's been really good. Again, the offensive line with all those transfers has been really good. I think Oregon's in that mix. So maybe not better than Miami, but they're right there. Those are the teams that are right there. And I am also infatuated with Florida State, but I'm not ready to put them ahead of Miami. That game's going to be awesome in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I am obsessed with this Miami defense, though.
You should be, man. They are flying around.
I mean, Mohamed Torre, Wesley Basainth, is it? Ruben Bain, David Blay, Jacoby Thomas had a sack and a tackle for another tackle for loss. Keontae Scott, Akeem Messidor.
Dude.
They got players, man. They've got players. And I can't say like Corey Heatherman is letting them play free, but with discipline, but with violence. It's exciting to watch. And I look at Miami. I mean, when's the Florida State? Is that next week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's
double checked.
Yeah.
But I'm almost certain it's 2 weeks.
Okay. So it gives us something to look forward to.
It is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Get Oregon, Penn State next week, Miami, Florida State the week after. I mean, we're starting to roll now.
It's hard because, and I'm transitioning to Florida now, and I don't want to do a show on this, but I do think it's worth covering. It's not worth covering. It's a necessity. This team clearly is not quitting on its head coach, but Billy Napier, the results are not there. What he did last year was brilliant. It was amazing to watch. It was inspiring, truly. From the 3-3 start to finish the way they did, and to see them rally and
beat LSU, yeah.
Yes. This it ain't working, and he's an offensive guy, and the offense isn't like it's gonna be a long week. I mean, it's been a couple of long weeks, but at some point you can't isolate and keep it in the bubble, and it's gonna be hard to see what happens there. It's going to be interesting to see how loud the noise is at Clemson, and we'll get to them a little bit with Dabo. It's a big industry, man. It's a big industry, and from TV to money to NIL to transfer portal, like this thing is vicious. And when it's not rolling the right way, like there's just not patience, and I get it. And quite honestly, like I can defend Billy all I want. Friend of the show, like came on with us, gracious with his time. I've had great conversations with him over the years. But at some point, there's going to have to be a change, man. You just wonder. How about Indiana?
How about Indiana? What's interesting to me about this is Indiana's pass rush so awesome, or is Illinois' pass protection issues that bad? Because that's something that I know we're going to get into Mendoza in the offense. I know you want to. I can't wait to hear you riff. I know you're going to go off on that. So really quickly, I'm going to add in the big guys up front. That pass rush tonight was, I mean, overwhelming. Luke Altmaier had no shot tonight. No shot.
None.
I don't know what the total numbers were, but Indiana, Aiden Fisher, Kamara, all of them were like they were just flying around. So I do wonder.
7 sacks. I had 9 tackles for loss, 7 sacks is what I saw.
I thought that number would be higher just watching the game. And so I do worry because Illinois had pass protection issues all year, but you knew this Indiana defense was going to be good. You knew they were going to be good. That's for the first team, the real team that they've played. That's super encouraging that this Indiana defense is for real. And that's not even going into the offense, which I'll let you do.
Here's the thing that I did it. Remember, we did a deep dive last year on Indiana. Like, how legitimate are they? They didn't play anybody. We're getting closer to the college football playoff. They may wind up getting in. I was late to the party on purpose because I didn't buy it. And I still, when the season was over, didn't completely buy it.
Honestly, can I just say this? I think they kind of pissed you off with the way they kind of slow played the Ohio State game to try and make that a little bit closer than it was. And then Ohio State just went down and scored anyways. Do you remember this?
Yeah, but even before that, I was just questioning, like, who have they played and all that stuff.
Right.
And it was legitimate. And we have a history, like, we don't have a history with Signetti, but we've worked with people who have worked with him and the Whitles and everybody else. And like, I know who he is and I've always understood like how efficient he is, but I don't think people understand unless you're like sitting here studying tape the way we do with you don't see many college teams play with the efficiency in which they do. And by that, I mean like hat on hat as a blocker. I mean gap discipline and defense. I mean every little, like the minutia, the details. And so when I watch them, I see more NFL draft prospects, and we went through that. They had more last year drafted than they had you had to go back like a decade. And they're going to have more drafted this in 2026 than they did in 2025. The talent's getting better, but it ain't Ohio State or Penn State. And it isn't even, I'm watching USC against Michigan State. It's not USC. It's,
it's like, not Texas Tech. I would say it's not even Texas Tech.
Not this year. No.
Nope.
After they brought in 22 transfers and all that. But as a collective whole, the way they play. And so I watched Mendoza tonight, Fernando Mendoza, right? And I loved a lot of things on tape from Cal. He's got the arm, the frame, mobility, kind of got courage to anticipate and to make some gutsy throws. And I watch him in this offense. And I had watched the first few games because I'm keeping tabs on all these quarterbacks. But I just, like, how much do you see in those when they're routing teams? And then you watch them against Illinois. And I know Illinois was down to the third string cornerback. And I know they had injuries. But, like, guess what? You're number 9. You're ranked number 9 in the country. That's a talented Illinois team. There's a reason why voters spent the whole offseason and looked at all these programs, all the teams in the SEC and the Big Ten and the top of the Big 12 and the top of the ACC. And they put them really high, like 13 or 14, somewhere in between like 10 and 20 coming into the year. And watched them beat Duke. And started, as there was carnage, they were rising up. They got up to number 9. That's a talented football team. But Illinois, but Indiana came out and like so efficiently. He completed 90% of his throws tonight. What was the final number? He was 20 of 22 last I checked. And like he did some great things. But I'm telling you right now, as an evaluator, he's harder now to evaluate than he was even at Cal last year. Because it's
21
RPO,
for 23.
21 for 23. So it's like 88% or something. No, it's like 92%.
Yeah,
Get your calculators out. And I look at Surratt, and he's an NFL draft prospect. Could be day 2. Big 6'3" frame, athletic, not the fastest guy, but a really good possession type receiver. Omar Cooper has been a revelation because he's not like last year. He averaged like 20 yards per catch. This year he's like 22, but he's more, the consistency's there.
He's starting to come on. Yeah.
Right. And so those two guys have 15 catches for 170 yards and 3 touchdowns. And you're like, oh, they were rolling. But as you're watching in this game, it's like Cignetti and the coaching staff, like they're so freaking efficient. And you wonder, like, are they, because last year, was it Rourke, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure you were talking about Curtis Rourke.
The quarterback
for Indiana.
Curtis Rourke was so good. Like, and it comes to find out, like, maybe he wasn't 100% and didn't have the mobility, but he still was never mobile. But now they've got this Mendoza guy who can run a little bit. And he only ran one time for 14 yards, Steve. But there's the threat there and all that RPO shit.
Oh, and the way doing. He had some off-platform stuff too that was pretty
He
nice.
did, but I'm saying in the run game. So that, like,
yeah.
So that keeps you more honest. When Rourke was doing that stuff, it was like, yeah, right. That's funny. That's funny. But now he's moving around a little bit. He's helping that offensive line, which is good, but we'll see against like better competition. I thought this was going to be the real test. Maybe they just passed the test and we're staring at it. Or maybe Illinois is overrated, or maybe Illinois got behind and they got injuries and they just fell apart. Whatever it is. But I'm telling you, this team doesn't have to be as talented as some other teams. And Mendoza is going to be a really tough evaluation because Cignetti didn't let him go to the Manning Passing Academy. You want to know why? He wanted every single second he could get with him in his little, like, it's almost
in
like
the lab.
It's almost like cult-ish. Like we have, this is how we do it. Bang, 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 bang. And that's the only way. It's the only way to be this efficient in college with the little amount of time you have to practice. So I'm saying all this and saying, I don't know if Mendoza's getting better as a draft prospect. I don't care right now. I don't know that I know they're not as talented as Ohio State and LSU and Miami, but I'm starting to wonder if they're talented enough with the right pieces in this scheme to be a real problem. Like a real problem. Not like last year problem, but like a real one. They're going to beat Iowa, and then they're going to be, 5-0. And then they got Oregon, at Oregon. I'm starting to wonder, could they beat Oregon? Truly.
Anything could happen.
But even though they're not as talented as Oregon, and they don't have a world at left tackle, and they don't have, they've got the quarterback. They can stack up there. But they don't have Sadiq at tight end. They don't have the weapons. No. They don't have the defensive talent. Like, they don't have that level of athlete from top to bottom, and they're starting 22. But are they better? Are they just as good a football team?
A few things here, and you're all over the place. So let me see if I can rattle some stuff off here for you.
Good.
Dan Lanning's a pretty damn good coach too. So I like the Ducks. So I still like the Ducks because Dan Lanning's a pretty damn good coach too, and I think he'll have them ready. So let's just start there.
Okay.
A couple other things to speak to Cignetti. All 3 phases tonight. It was,
and that's what he is.
Exactly, but they had a block punt for a touchdown.
I know with with our guy that Pond, who's a legitimate, might be their first draft pick in 2026.
They had a long punt return. Their defense was outrageous. I think they held them to like 1 yard per carry or something like that. Outrageous. So it feels like a different Indiana team this year. They do win in all 3 phases, or they showed tonight that they can win in all 3 phases. I do like Oregon in that game still. I'll say that. And this is the last thing before you come back. I understand. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I understand your point about Mendoza being a tough evaluation. I get it. It doesn't hurt to go 21 for 23 with 5 touchdowns.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I don't think evaluators, I think it kind of helps his case. I'm just saying, and I've seen enough throws. He makes some big time throws, man.
Yes, I know that. And that's why I was probably as high as anybody out there on Mendoza coming into the year. I absolutely love the guy. I'm just saying, I'm saying it as a positive to Cignetti is that he's got all his pieces to this puzzle right where he wants them, so that everything is working together. And that's why he's got the resting Cignetti face, because it's never enough. Do you know what I mean?
Also, the thing about the resting Cignetti face that I think is also substantial is this is an Indiana team that's had a little success in the last 2 years, but not historically understood how to handle that success. And that can hurt teams. And he needs to keep this team. This team's going to be, I mean, what 19, 20, 21-year-old wouldn't be rolling after this win over Illinois? Like, just thinking that they're on top of the world. There's the, Saban talking about the rat poison, right? Talking about, you guys give us rat poison every week and it could kill a team. All these compliments and how good we are, and look at that Indiana team, it can kill a team. And so Cignetti kind of has to keep his team level. And so I kind of get the RCF with him. It's a little bit of like, yeah, that's great. We haven't done shit yet. It's great that we got this big win. That's not what we're here to do. That is not what the goal is. The goal is to go out and compete with the Oregons and the Penn States of the world. So I see him as kind of having to do that, and I get it with him. So a little bit of hypocritical, but I love it. I love the RCF.
Yeah. Is it Andrew Cooper says that IU is, all right, let me pull up FanDuel. Come on, FanDuel. Indiana's only favored by 2.5 against Iowa.
Wow.
I'm going to watch this. I'm logging in right now. This will be my first wager placed on air, if that's the case. Can we get lines for next week?
Cignetti, Blink 12689. Cignetti is the Missoula of college football. I don't know if people know Missoula, the head coach of the Celtics, but they're both crazy.
Alabama, Georgia's next week.
Yeah.
All right, I can't find it now. Tucker, get to the bottom of this. I don't care if it's late. Call someone, Tucker. Find out if that's correct. 2.5. I'm just telling you right now, at this moment, and it's not like I'm not the recency bias guy. Sometimes a little bit, but like I usually keep pretty good perspective on things, usually. And I don't see a team that has the talent that Penn State has or Oregon has. I'm going to say right now, I'm so much closer to thinking they're going to knock off one of those 2 teams this year. Those are the 2 marquee games they have on their schedule than I have thought since this Cignetti thing started. All right. I guess that's my point in all of this. And as I say, this Michigan State now 3-0, by the way, as USC is. And I keep talking about USC sneaking around the chicken coop. Maybe the Spartans are. They just scored a long touchdown. Childs, nice throw. They're up 6-3. This is good for our show that's going to last the next couple of days, but I don't care. All right. I hope I made my point on Indiana.
You did.
All right.
Can we talk about Utah, Texas Tech now?
Well, I want to get to my spotlight player of the day. And this is a feature
great
that
transition.
We're doing. Great transition. Tucker, I hope you're there. I know you're on the phone with FanDuel right now trying to figure out that line. Get back to me when you can. I don't even know if these chat things work. But Will Hammond is my spotlight player of the day. The entire day, all the big games, everything that went on today, Will Hammond is my guy. 13. He came off. He's the backup quarterback for Texas Tech. And I'm going to pose something to you in a minute, Stevie boy. 34-10, they wind up winning this game. The starting quarterback, Baron Morton, very successful NFL prospect. Some guys are talking about him like midday 3. Underthrew a couple receivers today, a couple interceptions, then gets injured. Had the injury in the offseason, was recovering. You know who was taking snaps to the first team? Will Hammond. 6'2", 210 pounds. You know who led all of the state of Texas in passing his senior year? Will Hammond in high school.
Wow.
Will Hammond is supposed to be their guy. And we know what the Matador Club, El Matador Club, is doing down in Lubbock. They're kind of like us. This is the not fucking around crew. Mm-hmm. They are going out and whatever truck it takes from the oil field straight to the recruiting trail. Throw that graphic back up, Tucker. I'm sorry, I'm rambling tonight. I'm all over the place and I love it. 13 for 16 he was passing. He came in cold in that game, okay? And he was dealing. And normally when a backup quarterback comes in and you got a little bit of a lead, you're cautious. You protect. Not him. They actually put their foot on the gas more. Every once in a while, we've been doing this long enough, Mensch. Every once in a while, I see something in a guy and I'm like, there's something here. He also ran the ball 8 times for 61 yards.
Can we stop running him at the end of the game?
I know.
Stop running him. What are we doing? Game was in hand and they're running him.
But changing arm angles, throwing with conviction. This is the year where we came in and we used to get LaNorris Sellers and Arch Manning and Klubnik and Nussmeier and Aller and all these guys. It's the golden age of quarterbacking, right? This was supposed to be the year where all these guys and NFL scouts are calling me. I'm getting texts all summer. And you know what? A lot of guys have had a lot of pressure on them. And a lot of guys, for different reasons, have not lived up to the preseason expectations. And part of it is some of the pressure that's being put on them about Heisman, national championship, NFL draft. And then you see this young pup with all no cares in the world come into a game. And he's like, yeah, let's go. I was doing it 2 years ago at Texas. I'm in Texas high school football. That's all I know how to do. I'm young and dumb and I'm perfectly there's nothing better than life than being just young and ignorant to all of it, you know, truly. And he came in playing let's go. I've been running first teams with this team. Yeah. And to see him get for the sideline after the first touchdown pass and they're jumping him and this isn't anything against Morton, but I got to ask you, watching the offense with and then with the backup, did we get a Wally Pip today? I know most people in our audience don't know what that is, that reference. But
Tucker didn't know what it was, so that's not a good sign.
Well, Tucker's 18 years old. When I met Tucker in person, I couldn't believe how young this guy is who runs our whole show. He's like the Wizard of all. What were we talking about on the text thread? He's Christopher Walken back there.
Yes.
I don't know. I see something special in this guy. And I, for the first time ever, I guess we should state it. Texas Tech wins 34-10. They doubled him up on the ground, Utah. That's a fucking hornet's nest that you're going into. I've been there. I've done multiple games at Utah. I've done night games and I did one game. It was afternoon, but it's almost creepier in the morning than it is at night.
Yeah, don't give me that 10 o'clock start bullshit, by the way. That place was electric today.
No, but it is electric, but it's not the Northwestern 10, 11 a.m. kick.
No.
Where it's the opposite of exciting, so it's hard to get up. It's whoa, I just woke up, and I just got dropped into a hornet's nest. Mm-hmm. And now I'm fighting for my life. And Texas Tech didn't flinch. This is a different Texas Tech team than I've ever seen. I was there for the Michael Crabtree game when they upset Texas. Texas was ranked 1 or 2. Vince Young. I was there for that game. If you go back and watch the ABC coverage, you can see a guy running across the field. in the opposite direction of everyone because I was trying to get out of there because it was Halloween night and it was bananas in Lubbock. And I slept in a bloody bed the night before that I showed up at midnight in Lubbock and there was blood in the bed. True story. But I've seen crazy stuff there, but I haven't seen a football team built like this. They're physical, that pass rush. And so I'm asking you now, like, if I'm looking at this and I'm like, whoa, we're not like cute top 25. We're not like, oh, we're going to be around at the end and maybe get a fighting shot to like sneak in. Like, they're better than everybody in the Big 12. I just watched Baylor, and I love Sawyer Robertson, and Arizona State, and I love Sam Levitt. They're better. They're better on the defensive and offensive lines. They're physical. They're balanced on offense. But now you've got this veteran quarterback who's put in the work, done all the things. This is his year, might get drafted, all that stuff. But you bring in this kid and Will Hammond, who's our spotlight player of the week in week 4 in college football of all the players that we saw today. And I'm asking you, do you got the onions? It feels like Tom Brady. We lived in New England.
That is the exact situation.
Because it's like, no, we got Drew Bledsoe. Yeah, he's injured. When he comes back, he comes back. But it took a Bill Belichick, someone who's crazy like a fox, to recognize it and say, I love Drew. I love what Bledsoe did, but this guy gives us a better shot.
There's one significant difference there, obviously. Drew Bledsoe almost died and was out for multiple weeks, which gave Tom Brady a chance to show what he's doing. And I loved Hammond today. By the way, one of his completions was a gorgeous ball down the right sideline that was just dropped. I mean, the touch he put on that pass was unreal. But that being said, I love Hammond. I think you have to really consider doing it. I think Morton's got a real short leash. But we've only seen one game of Hammond, and it was in very difficult circumstances in the biggest game of the year, and that's all encouraging. I think it's going to be interesting what the medical report is going to be on Morton, and they're going to have to, and that'll, either make it a tougher or easier decision. But I would not, I'll say this, let me put it this way. I will not be surprised if Will Hammond's the starting quarterback coming out of the Arizona State game, because I could see Morton going into that game and maybe having a slow start, and then they don't mess around and they go back to the kid. He played that well.
He did, man. And the defense played that well. I'm like watching the pass rushers, Bailey and Hunter and Height and Gil Howard. Like they're getting after your ass as a quarterback. They did to Utah what Utah does to teams. They knocked him in the mouth. Didn't they?
100%. I thought that game was going to go the other way. I really did. And maybe that's, maybe that's just some of the brand name. Some of that's Texas Tech can't come into Utah and win that game and be the tough guy and be the bully. And they 100% were. 100% were. I was impressed.
And this is the day in which Clemson is a disaster, and Michigan, Nebraska, and Auburn, Oklahoma. And I'm not accidentally talking about it this early on in our show and spending this much time. If I don't see it, like if you and I didn't see something today that is so unique to what we're used to seeing in our 2.5 decades of covering the NFL draft and college football, like it's different, man. And I was skeptical. I'll be the first to admit coming in the year. I'm like, yeah, Arizona State's they'll be good. Baylor's got a good young quarterback. Kansas State, Iowa State, like these are more proven commodities. I'm telling you right now, we'll see how they handle the quarterback situation. We'll see how things go. But I'm telling you right now, Texas Tech's the best team in the Big 12, and the Big 12 has a handful of good teams.
Who are you starting at quarterback? You didn't say.
I'm starting Hammond.
Yeah. You and Brian Haas. Haas is he's ready to cut Morton.
Is he?
Yeah. So, yeah. I get it, man. I don't.
Jordan Withrow knows. He was there for the Crabtree 08. Good to see you, Jordan. He's a Texas Tech guy. Good to have you. He knows all the defense. Jacob Rodriguez, David Bailey, Gil Howard, Tech defense finally. He gets it.
But Hammond, I mean, he definitely deserves the player spotlight. I wonder who some of our listeners who they would have for today. There were some big time performances in other games. So
Yeah, throw that out there.
I mean, that Michigan game I want to get into a little bit later on. There's players in that game, man.
Mayava, by the way, he's sneaky. Touchdown run. USC's up 9-7 pending the extra point. All right. I mean, those are my two biggest takeaways from today in terms of like the college football picture. Indiana, I'm not saying Texas Tech's more, you said it before, Texas Tech's more talented. Indiana as a football team is highly intriguing to me. I think they're a problem.
Should be.
I think they're a problem. And Texas Tech is legitimately the best team in the Big 12. And it took going to Utah, playing in that environment. A Big Noon Kick was there, man. Portnoy and Big Cat were there, going to the bookstores and making all sorts of ruckus. And like that thing was fired up. All eyes from Fox and half the nation were there, while the other half of the nation was watching McAfee jump into a pool, which was highly entertaining as well.
It was. That was fun.
That's your cup of tea, yeah. That show's different than it used to be, huh?
It is a little bit different, and it's morphing. It's changing, or maybe we're just the old guys. I don't know.
No, I mean, it fits. The WWE was being promoted all day long on ESPN. Okay. So when we had Miami, Florida going on, but we got WWEs and
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't believe it.
So, but those are my big two takeaways.
What about Michigan, Nebraska?
We'll get to them in a little bit.
All right.
I think something's changing in college football, though. I want to bring that to your attention. And it's a good time for me to bring up a sponsor that we have with a partnership that I am thrilled about, and I know you are as well, Mitch, because I've kind of become like a home renaissance guy, if you will. Like I rolled up these sleeves this summer. Told you about the outdoor project. Fixed my Thursday. Fixed my grill. Who do you think helped? Home Depot.
Home Depot.
I'm underneath the grill, Mensch. You should see I'm becoming kind of a weirdo in my old age with this stuff. I love it. But it's time to get into it, all right? A special segment of and I'm pumped that Home Depot is helping us out, and they're in partnership with us, and they're going to be here all fall. So this is a special segment of the show that's called the Home Field Advantage, and it's perfect for what we're about to talk about, okay? It's brought to you by our friends at the Home Depot, the place to go to build your dream game day setup on your own home field, whether it's tailgate or your backyard, your living room. What kind of grill you got, Mensch? I got a Traeger. You got a Weber?
I got a Blackstone, and I don't remember.
You're probably saying something we're not supposed to say. Let's just say I'm a Traeger guy. I probably shouldn't have asked. That's my fault. I'm going to get a text or an email right now.
I'm pretty sure I got them both at Home Depot. I honestly get all my stuff at Home Depot.
Okay, perfect. Good save in case we needed a save.
Yeah, it's my go-to.
But since we're talking about home field energy, we're going to get to the game in just 1 minute, but I really want to say this to you. And I said, this isn't me like, oh, McShay's such a shill for Home Depot. Like I said this before, I said this after the Michigan game. Something feels different in Norman, man. I've done Norman games. I did games at Oklahoma. Going back to Sam Bradford, right? And that was a good environment.
Mm-hmm.
I did Baker on senior night. Great environment. I was there for Kyler Murray. Great environment. He was suspended for the first series of the game. I forget. It was Kansas. Okay. So I've been there and I've been to some big games, but something felt different watching on television this year with Michigan. And I told you, it looked like the Rose Bowl almost, the colors and the setting. And I think sometimes in life, and I truly mean, I was thinking about this today before I even knew that we were going to do this as part of Home Depot. Sometimes in life, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I think they had it ripped away from them for a couple of years in Norman, and they're like, oh no. And there's a new like re-enter, and maybe it's talking to Nagy and seeing how they're putting this whole thing together. But there's something about Norman now where I don't want to go and play. And so if you don't believe me, believe the results. Norman, Oklahoma today was ruckus. And OU won that game 24-17, but it was ugly. It wasn't the John Mateer flinging it around show. It wasn't what we kind of come to expect early in the season. It was Auburn with 7 false starts. It was a defense that was stifling, even though Jackson Arnold played his tail off. And so I'm starting to think as we go through this series throughout the next like 6-7 weeks with Home Depot, I'm going to list off some of the top, the best in all of college football, home advantages, right? But I'm telling you right now, OU's starting to creep up there into like the top 10 in the nation. And it definitely gives the Sooners a big edge. We saw that today. But you can create
a different vibe right now.
It's a different vibe right now. And you can create a different vibe. You can create your own home field advantage, whether you're tailgating at the stadium, watching from your backyard, or from your living room. The Home Depot has everything you need for a game day setup that brings the energy, from grills and smokers, from top brands like Traeger, Next Grill, or Weber, to fire pits, to smart lighting, speakers, outdoor TVs. I actually need to go to the Home Depot. I've got to figure out my audio thing now that I get an outdoor shower. Fast free delivery I'm just thinking as we go here, over 2 million online items delivered for free to your door. And I am a living, shining beacon for that. Subject to availability. See homedepot.com for details. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. And I thought Oklahoma today got it done in a way that I did not expect. Takeaways for you from that game. I'll let you start here.
I mean, it got tight, man. And Auburn went up in the fourth quarter. And it was kind of like, okay, this has been cute, Mateer. Now let's see what you're really about. And then on the next drive, 9-yard pass, 4-yard run, 7-yard pass, 15-yard pass, 31-yard pass, 9-yard touchdown. We're right back in the lead. I mean, there's no negative plays there. There's no incomplete passes. He's the run game. He just takes over. He took over at the most important part of the game. That's one thing I'll take, is that he's the real deal. Mateer is the real freaking deal, man. But the second thing is, so is that Oklahoma defense, man. They had 10 sacks today, and those guys were swarming. There are a couple offensive linemen. Conor Lew, the center from Auburn, and Xavier Chaplin, the left tackle from Auburn. Those are NFL players, man. And both of them had their hands full today. So that defense is awesome. And you got that quarterback, and you got receiver. It seems like a different receiver will step up every week. It's well known how we feel about the tight end Kanik. Like, this team is for real. That's a good Auburn team that they beat today. And Cam Coleman
and it's a good Auburn team that was not wounded, but like chips were like they had to have this game. It felt like like they had to have this game. They had to showcase and it also is an Auburn team, for me at least, with a quarterback that I can't imagine the chip and the grudge, because I told you I went back and watched some of that tape indirectly, and I started watching Oklahoma last year, and to be booed out of there, and to be like hung at the stake, or like
that's wild.
With five starting your top 5 wide receivers out all year, and an offensive line that absolutely sucked. Biedenbau's the best offensive line coach, I would argue. Put him in the top 3 if you want, but he's as respected as there is. I've told you, like, over and over again. When I talk to NFL scouts, he's the guy. Okay, for developing guys to the NFL and getting an offensive line ready. And with all
you're beat up there too.
But my point is, can you imagine how, talk about, he didn't just circle this game. Every ounce of his being was put into this game, and his teammates who have come to love him wanted to do this not only for the team, but for him. And you could see it in the way he played. And Oklahoma still found a way to win.
Yeah. I thought he had a really gutsy game. I do think he held onto the ball too long at times. The
He
protection
does.
sucked, but he's got to get rid of that ball. There are times where you're like, dude, come on. You gotta throw it away, run, do something. You can't just sit there in the pocket like that.
How about Arbuckle? They said on the broadcast apparently that was illegal what they did.
What they do?
The first touchdown for Oklahoma, they pretended like a guy wasn't on the field or
Oh,
they
yeah.
were
That's
talking.
illegal?
I read somewhere where apparently the rules person, the officiating person in the booth, I guess, or someone back in Bristol, what game? Who was calling that game? Whoever it was, someone came on and said that it was the way they executed it wasn't legal, but I don't. But either way, Arbuckle handed them 6 points. That was a design.
Perfect time to call. It was right after that punt got, you're kind of on your heels after that.
Yep.
That muffed punt or that whatever you would call it, the botched punt.
Yep.
So you're kind of still, quick change. You're not expecting to be in that field position. It was a perfect time to call it.
If I'm worried about something, and again, it is Auburn. Auburn's defense is outstanding. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Jaden Ott is in the witness protection program.
Correct.
And while I like Tory Blaylock a lot, and everyone I talk to there thinks he's going to be a star,
I love him.
I do too. But he had 11 carries for 13 yards. Steve,
I know. Correct. You're right.
So if there's something that's going to derail this team, to me it appears to be their run game. It hasn't been to the level.
It's true. I think that yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm not going to argue with it. You're right. It is a concern right now. I do think they're playing some pretty tough run defenses, but you're right. Right now, that's a question mark for them.
What'd you think of Mateer today?
All that matters is that when it's on the line, he's poised, he's under control, and he makes plays. Again, that last drive. It's all about that last drive for me.
How many schools are there in the country right now, truly? And I already went on my whole rant about all the quarterbacks coming into the year that we thought. How many? And I think he's been the best player in college football. If we had a draft of every player right now in college football, every player, including Jeremiah Smith, if you started a draft and you could pick one player for this season in college football, I'm taking Mateer.
Agree. Do we have the FanDuel odds on him winning the Heisman? Do we have those?
I'm sure.
I'm
Tucker
guessing he's the leader, right?
Oh yeah, yes. NCAA futures plus 750. Can people hear Tucker when he talks? He said no. Can we fix that, Tucker?
Yeah, we need the voice of God to come in.
I feel like we're always talking to you and Dan, and we never hear your voices. So and pretty soon, let's get your faces on here. You guys will get all cute and dressed up. Dan's gonna have to get out of his clubbing outfits that he's going hitting the clubs out in LA after the show.
Dan didn't like that one.
No, I know. Dan's the hardest working man.
I know.
Hardest. We've been around some grinders. Dan is up in that elite team.
Dan is a grinder.
We are surrounded by grinders, and we're very fortunate for it. But I also I only bust balls when I love you. But I'm asking you this question. Did we say out loud? What did you say it was, Tucker? Plus
750.
Plus 750. Is that he's the leader? Correct. Okay. So, but more importantly, are there any other quarterbacks in the country in the fourth quarter tight game you would prefer to have? And I want you to think about this too, because he's also capable of giving away the farm.
Yeah.
With one aggressive decision.
Well, another guy who would be in the mix would be Nussmeier, right?
Yes.
Also capable.
But shown refinement this year.
Still capable. I think you have to have a little bit of it in you. You have to have a little bit of that into you for you to be that guy in the fourth quarter, man. You got to have a little bit of that. This might not go my way, but we need to make a play right now. So I'm just going to lay it on the line and put it in there. And the other thing I like about Mateer more than Nussmeier is that, just like you saw today with that touchdown run, he is a problem when he runs. I mean, he can hurt you as a runner. His mobility is an issue. Yeah, I mean, not right now. No, I can't think of no. There's not. I don't even know if there's anyone close. There's some
Texas
really.
how good is Red River going to be this year?
I hope it's going to be good.
Ooh.
I hope Texas is good.
You hope Texas is up for it.
I do.
Well,
I really do.
Hey, Nussmeier and Arch today, they were damn near perfect. Both had like 4 or 5 touchdown passes. They both teams scored nearly half a hunch. Everything's fine. Sam Houston State, Southeast Louisiana. No, I honestly, that game I've done the Red River when
it's an amazing
Oklahoma
game.
When I did a Red River when Oklahoma was like 5th in the country and Texas wasn't ranked, and I've done it in the opposite way. And both games were, one of them was an upset and the other was like just dogfights. It doesn't matter. But I mean, Texas is loaded. Texas has more talent and Oklahoma has a ton of talent. Texas doesn't have a quarterback that it truly trusts at this point. Oklahoma does. That's going to be fascinating to see. I want to know what the Red River line is already.
I mean, remember Dylan Gabriel beat them with that unbelievable last second pass. I mean, that game almost always is good. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel had that 34-30 win over Texas in 23 before he went to Oregon.
Why does Josh Pate have a tab on college football odds and we don't? Let's get to the bottom of that, Tucker. I'm just looking at futures. All right. I don't know. All interesting stuff. I'll tell you one thing. The next 2 weeks, we've got some massive.
We're starting to roll now.
We got Georgia, Alabama next week, and we've got Oregon, Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following week is Red River and a few other awesome games. Anything more you got for me on Oklahoma?
No, again, that defensive line is it's for real. Grayson Halton, the defensive tackle, I think is someone that people are sleeping on. When R. Mason Thomas came in the second half and just kind of took over for a little while. Marvin Jones Jr. That? I mean, it's unbelievable, man. I mean, they've got guys, and there's guys that I was watching today. I was like, who's this dude? And all of a sudden, he's running around.
This game was kind of a snooze. It was kind of boring in the first half. You had that Arbuckle generated touchdown. Great response by Arnold Jackson. That's where I was like, oh, I'm excited to see this for Arnold. 5 for 5 passing. He had that long drive. They kept attacking that freshman cornerback. Was Guillory?
Mm-hmm.
Guillory.
Who's very, very good, but yes.
No, I know. But he's a pup. And I'll get to the other point that I wanted to make in this game real quick. So you kind of had that back and forth, 10-10 halftime. Fascinating game, but kind of boring in the first half as a whole. Pair of field goals for Oklahoma, kind of grinding it out early in the second half. And then all of a sudden, Auburn starts this drive. And then with 9 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, right? After Oklahoma got away, do you remember that throw in the end zone where the ref was turning and running to get out of the way so he didn't interfere with the play? He missed the interference where Cam Coleman was tackled, right?
Yep.
So right after that play, Hugh goes for it. 4th and 11. Jackson Arnold takes it, tucks it, and runs and picks up the first. 3 plays go by. Now it's 4th and 1. Hugh goes for it again. False start. 4th and 6 on their 20, on Oklahoma's 20. And they're down 16-13, right? They're down 16-13. Doesn't kick the field goal. There's still like 8.5 minutes left. Doesn't kick the field goal. Still doesn't blink. 4th and 6. Go for it. Cam Coleman gets a PI against Guillory again.
Guillory, yep.
And then jet sweep to Malcolm Simmons, touchdown, 17-16 Auburn. And all of a sudden, I'm like, this game happened fast. Yeah. Like, whoa. This was kind of the boring game. Then Mateer responds, 75-yard drive. And this is what we're talking about.
It's
75 yards when you need it. Season's on the line because you're looking at a schedule. If you're Oklahoma, you're looking at a schedule. Beyond this, you got Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, LSU. Can't drop this one. We're at home.
Nope.
Jump on my back. That awesome throw, 31-yard completion to Satenga, who we should mention, by the way.
Who had a monster game today.
He finished with 9 for 127 and a touchdown. Isaiah Satenga. Every week it's like someone, it's Conor at tight end. It's Deion Burks, who's a legit, like, could be a second-round draft pick, okay? And then so they go up 22-17, 4:50 remaining, and that's when the closers came in.
Yeah.
Defensive line. This is a team, Muench, that picks each other. You always hear playing good complimentary football now. I'm telling you. You know, like, you always hear that. That's what that was. And it was so fitting. Our Mason Thomas comes in and actually closes the door. 9th inning, strikes out the last batter. Bang.
It wasn't even close, by the way.
Go ahead. Suspend me for a half again. I'll come in fresh and I'll ruin your defense. You're better off letting me get worn down for 4 quarters so I can't do what I just did to Auburn's offense.
Oh, man, that last power rush.
I want to ask you this question.
Hey, by the way, real quick, can I just tell you this? We also have LSU at Ole Miss next week.
Ole Miss is sneaky.
And Auburn at Texas A&M. By the way, that Ole Miss team that, you like that Tulane team, Ole Miss handled them today.
I put that in my notes. Let's just get to it real quick, but I want to come back to this. Ole Miss.
These games next week, it is loaded.
I love when we're so all over the place. I can't even find my shit.
I know, I'm the worst.
No. I've got it. I called it the GTFOOH performance. Get the fuck out of here, Tulane. Get the fuck out of here, Tulane. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That spread
45 to 10.
That spread was not much.
Dude, Jake Retzlaff was 5 for 17 for 56 yards.
That spread coming into the game, I was 11. But yeah.
There's
I feel like Lane's a little pissed, and I think Lane. Don't forget who Lane Kiffin's dad is. People always get it mixed up on Lane. Southern Cal guy on X and used to be Twitter, poking the bear with Nick. Lane's a lifer in this. His dad was one of the great all-time defensive coordinators. Like, he is a grind-it football guy, loves running the ball. Now he's got a quarterback, and Jackson Dart's wonderful. You know how much I love Jackson Dart, and I didn't know he loved Jackson Dart. And Jackson Dart had some mobility. But this is kind of a new fun project for him. This Trinidad Chambliss, he rushed for 112 today. Now, they can't throw the way they want to, and we'll see what happens when both guys are healthy. But they've beaten Kentucky, Arkansas. By the way, Arkansas is kind of sneaky good too.
Lost a tough one today.
I saw, but they're still they had a huge lead in that game.
Big quarterback Green's pretty damn good, man.
Taylon Green is good.
Yeah.
And talking to NFL scouts, there's a lot more love for Taylon Green than there is for some other big names out there, surprisingly. And then they beat Tulane. So they're sneaking around. But yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask you this question before we get completely off the Auburn-Oklahoma game. Watching Cam Coleman today and knowing what we know about Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams, I'm going to pose this to FanDuel. I want a futures unique NFL draft bet that comes out sometime after the season. Looking ahead to 2020. I want it to be the first bet on the board for 2027. Odds on those 3 guys all go in the top 10 picks. And mind you, that could be a draft with Arch And I know Arch has not played to the level, and we did a whole show on it, and I did a whole newsletter on it. The McShay Report. Google it, just like Signetti. Subscribe, please. But there's going to be quarterbacks in that draft. Could be Arch, it could be Lagway, it could be Sellers.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, we were just talking about another guy. Oh, it could be Childs, who we're watching now against USC.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Maeva. There's a lot of guys. So I'm saying, but I still think they're that good.
I agree. I think the other two are locks, by the way. Like, as far as locks can go this far out. I mean, they have to stay healthy. They have to avoid, any of those kind of pitfalls and whatever they may be. But talent-wise,
Jeremiah Smith is the first player in the draft that's not a quarterback and really should be the first pick in the draft.
Agree. And I think Ryan Williams could be a top 5 guy.
Yes. And
Coleman, can I say this about Coleman?
Yes.
I freaking love him. Love him. I think he is, like the other two, unique talent. I think he's a little more inconsistent. I want to see him. There are times where I feel like he's not running through routes. There are some times where he's still kind of feeling it out. He's got to elevate.
But he's got the rest of this year and next year.
And I also think he's already starting to do it. I think you're already seeing some progress. He is not where Jeremiah Smith could play. He could go play for. If the Raiders had Jeremiah Smith tomorrow, they would be a much better football team.
Yeah.
I mean, they would be, they would love a Jeremiah Smith. Like he's ready to go. I think Ryan Williams is ready to go too. I think Cam Coleman we're going to have to work with him a little more, but he's just a rare talent. Now, again,
people are yelling at me too. Sayin as well. Sayin could be as well. We need to see
Julian
more.
Sayin, yeah.
But Blink 12689 is yelling at me about
not
Sayin.
Having it.
Joseph Rawling is yelling at me about saying. It was just off the top of my head. Got to see more. We got to see more from all of these guys. So yes, thank you for chiming in on that. But yeah, I'm fired up about the 2026 class, but 2027 has a chance to be like one of the greatest drafts in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
And there's a long way to go. We'll see. But yeah, I just couldn't help my brain going there. Michigan.
Yes, let's go.
Take it away. I know you've been dying to talk about this game. Michigan versus Nebraska, 30-27.
I mean, look, the Michigan gave up that Hail Mary at the end of the first half, and it was like, what are we doing here? Other than that, man, and I will say this, Bryce Underwood, we'll just say this, 105 yards passing. You'd like to see better numbers there. I absolutely am in love with two things from this game. One is the run game for Michigan. And I do mean the run game because Justice Haynes is awesome. He's Justice Haynes, 17 for 149 with a 75.
Every single game he's got like a 50
Every game he's breaking one, man. He just breaks one. And he doesn't have a ton of wiggle, but he's patient, he's strong, and he's fast, man. So I love the way Haynes runs. But here we got Jordan Marshall coming in as that second back, and he's 6 for 80 today. He runs his ass off too. And then you look at that front, that Michigan front fitting up that defense. I mean, I talk about hat on hat and creating seams for those backs. It's so awesome to watch when an offensive line is getting into position and creating seams, and then the runners are taking advantage of it. There are times where an offensive line blocks super well, and they can't run the ball because the backs aren't taking advantage of it. And vice versa. There's times when the offensive line gets handled and the back can't go anywhere. Today, that against Nebraska, they average 8.7 yards per carry. And some of that is you add in Underwood's legs too.
Yeah.
33 for 286, man. What do you want me to tell you? You want to get upset about the 75-yard run, pumping it up? Marshall had a 54-yard touchdown run too. I mean, sorry, but when you run for 286, you're going to have a couple long runs. I mean, that run game.
How good is this offensive line, truly, from what you've seen?
It's a Michigan offensive line. They are better at offensive tackle. I will say this. I'm not sure. I still think they're developing there. They're not a drop back. We can pass protect with the best of them in the country, but it's a solid, sound offensive line that I think is going to get better and is actually a little more talented. Some of the offensive lines they had in the past. They haven't had a real dude since Taylor Lewan walked out of the building. They haven't had, as far as I can remember, they haven't had a real stud offensive tackle in a long time. So it is a Michigan offensive line. Very good. I'm not sure they have any elite individuals. That said, the other thing about this, we told you that Michigan defense, that defensive front was for real. That Michigan defensive front is for real, man. They are for real. Raiola had no shot today. And I know it was a closer game and they got the Hail Mary at the end of the first half again. But man, that pass rush was all over him.
I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes. Okay. Let's just call this a list where NFL teams dial into it. Okay. Most teams have like 2 or 3 guys with a grade that I'm not going to share the grade, number, letter, or whatever it is, with a grade that's, let's say, here, which means draftable in the first 2-3 rounds or higher. And these are just seniors. I'm not talking about any of the underclassmen, even a lot of the guys that will go to the Senior Bowl. I'm talking like the seniors. Like, I feel like we don't even have a ton of those, but like true seniors. Michigan has 1, 2. I'm talking a lot of the big time programs have like 2, maybe 3, and they're like from skill position play, like all that. Michigan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. And a lot of guys that weren't even stars coming in the year, but scouts were all over this, okay? And I'm talking high grades coming in the year. Derek Moore, Jayshon Barham, Rod Moore, the safety, Ray Benny, and Ernest Hausman, and TJ Guy, 6. And they all showed out today, all those front guys, all of them. I'm watching today, and it's Barham. Here's the other thing watching Michigan Mensch, and I'm old school in a lot of ways. There's something that I absolutely love about defensive front guys getting after quarterbacks with skill position player, offensive skill position player jersey numbers. Yeah. And I'm watching because it feels like this swarm, like if it's like 99 and 90, but there's something about like I've got 1 Barham, 8 Derek Moore, 15 Hausman, 4 TJ Guy, 26 Benny. And Benny had a sack and a half. Hausman had a sack. Moore had a sack and a half. Barham had a sack. They're all, as a quarterback, it's like extra insulting to see these guys. It's like 1, 8, 15, 26. And they're all 250 to 310 pounds, you know? That defense is fun to watch.
It is, man. I'm a believer. I am a little concerned about their corner play, but that front is for real.
Yeah.
Biff Poggi. Lead him to the victory.
You know, this is a good Tucker. Let's get to my favorite things of the day. Or what are we calling it? Absurd things from today. We need a name. We're going to throw it out. What do we want to call this every week? Stuff that's like, I don't know if it's viral, but it stands out that like you can't turn your eyes away from it. When I was texting Tucker about it, I was like, let's call it absurdities for a day. That sounds so, I don't know. Like, what was I trying to say?
Something we can have fun with.
Yeah, whatever it is.
It's still, we've got to work on that. Let's throw it out to the chat.
Yeah, I had something, but absurd. I sent him. Here we go. This is good television. Whatever. Most absurd things we saw today. Find us. Hey, Haas, do something positive. Get the crew fired up and let's come up with a better name. These are the most ridiculous, but absurd, but kind of funny, whatever you want to call it. But
the Mike Leach Awards.
Yeah. So let's watch this. Let's see what we got, Tucker. Roll them out any which way you want.
What are you going to do tonight
Tucker
to celebrate?
I'm
going to eat some Haagen-Dazs coffee ice cream with my wife and smoke a Cuban cigar and then probably go to the hospital. But I will.
So that was your boy Biff.
Biff.
Tell us about it.
Getting some chocolate, getting some coffee ice cream with the wife and a Cuban cigar, and then maybe going to the hospital. I freaking love it, man.
This guy is a quote machine.
This is a guy who's a joy in life. We're all like, oh, that's probably high pressure. You're the interim head coach for Michigan. You don't want to screw that up. You just got to keep a steady ship, and he's just out there having a good time.
All right, I saw something else hysterical. Do we have the one with the with Tennessee with the kicker?
Dude, this was dirty.
So dirty.
It was bad.
UAB, but it's still kind of funny, right?
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening, UAB, I don't know this actually, but this UAB player walks over and intentionally stomps on the foot of the Tennessee kicker getting ready to kick an extra point or field goal. I mean, just childish stuff.
Yep. He went down too.
Speaking of childish, we're going to have to do a weekly segment. I guess I'm to the point where I just don't care in life anymore. Because I golf down the street from Bill, but like Belichick, like what are we doing, man?
Oh.
I'm concerned. There's got to be a welfare. Because
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Everything's fine here.
All right, let's find. But like every week, you got to check in on the. I just don't understand. We're in warm-ups. And have you seen some of the memes on it?
Oh my God! Can we go to Disney World?
Can I have money for the concessions? Can we go see a movie after the game?
Oh, dude.
But while like it's funny because it's just like nervous laughter. I don't know what else to do with it. All right, my favorite one though. If there's anything more Miami and Michael Irvin and just the absurdity that is, and I just love watching them be. They're not back or whatever you want to call it, but I just love Miami in the mix.
Yeah. It's oh my God, dude. This thing sounds terrible.
It's horrible.
It sounds terrible. It's
horrible. And Michael Irvin's the only here we go. I'm just watching it now. I just love Miami. I'm on a delay in my own show. I hope people are laughing and enjoy it. But Irvin doing that, man, I can't watch it enough. And I can't tell if they're laughing with him or at him.
I don't know, man. He's having fun though. He's enjoying this run,
and I love it.
It's a beautiful
thing. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, yeah.
Are we done with the absurd ones?
Yes.
Can I tell you something that was really cool that I didn't know about until today when we were watching that game this morning or this afternoon, early games? The linebacker for Texas Tech, Jacob Rodriguez, who was outrageous today. 11 tackles, forced fumble, and an interception. And I did not know this until the broadcast. They started talking about his wife.
Oh, yeah. Share that.
His wife Emma flies Black Hawk helicopters, man. How badass is that? I mean, that is so badass. And Rodriguez, by the way, is someone we got to look at. I mean, the way he was as good as that defensive line was, Jacob Rodriguez was all over the place today. And he's a guy who's been there the whole time. They didn't go out and buy Jacob Rodriguez. He's been there the whole time. Dude, he's a dude. He was the preseason Big 12 defensive player of the year.
And he's not even the toughest, you know what, in that house, you know?
No, not at all.
So cool. So cool.
Not at all.
I love that.
Very cool.
How good's Michigan? Can Michigan so you've got Ohio State and Penn State, and you don't buy Penn State as much as a lot of others. I'm in between on Penn State. There's the national media, there's Todd McShay, and then there's Steve Muench.
Not that bad, but yeah, I am lower than everyone else, I feel like.
I'm lower than everyone else on Drew Aller. You're lower than everyone else on Penn State, including me. But my point is, I think nationally everyone would agree there are three, call them elite or top tier. The three teams at the top are Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, in whatever order. You would go what?
You don't put LSU in there?
No. Listen to me. In the Big Ten.
Oh, in the Big Ten. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Go ahead. It's you said Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon.
Yeah. How would you order those for starters?
I would go Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State.
Penn State. Okay. So that
I think that's fair though. Penn State's up there. I would not put Michigan ahead of Penn State. I'm not saying that.
So I was asking you, how can they when do they play? I don't think they play, but
They don't play.
They don't play, but can Michigan get to? Well, we're going to find out next week. I mean, we can do this all week long.
Here's the thing. I'll say this about Michigan. Their next game, they got Wisconsin next. No offense to our good friend Big Cat. Wisconsin's it's a dumpster
atrocious.
fire.
It's atrocious.
So, by the way, Van Pelt needling him on Twitter was one of my favorite things today. I should have brought that up. They were going back and forth. Van Pelt's ruthless.
So at USC.
That's the next test. And then after that,
Washington home. Washington's put it on Washington State too. Washington's sneaky. They're hanging around.
Jonah Coleman.
We'll get to my top
Boston.
12 that might have 14 teams in it. They're hanging around there.
They're hanging out there.
But after that, it's Childs. USC's up 17-7 as we watch this game at 12:22 in the morning. I'm telling you.
Here's my point. Hold on. Here's my point about Michigan.
Fight on. Go ahead.
Jesus. They have these tests, right? I think at Nebraska was a pretty big test. They passed. At Oklahoma was a tough one. Now the next one will be at USC. Can you now beat a USC on the road? That'll be the next one. Then I'll know more. I don't know enough about Bryce Underwood or where he's going to be. I know that Bryce Underwood's going to be a hell of a college quarterback. I do know that. How quickly that development happens for him, I'm not sure yet, especially because he doesn't have difference makers on the outside like some other guys do.
So RJ Morris just gave us his three, and it's yours. It's Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. I want to ask real quickly, and then we can move on, but I'll circle back with people who are on the chat right now. And we appreciate you being here, and we're interacting more, and I love this. This is exactly how we wanted it to be when we set it up. I failed it for a little bit as we were getting going, but this is how Saturday night should be. But RJ Morris went Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State. I'm challenging you in our live chat, and then you at home, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it on Spotify or listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Apple, whether it's Sunday or Monday, whenever you're ingesting this show, I want you to look at the Big Ten now. And if we're calling that the jumping off point, because I think most sane people would agree it's those three teams at the top. But after that, who's the next tier, and in what order would you put them? Because I'm going to have a hard time watching USC and telling you since preseason, this USC team is kind of dangerous, as Michigan State is now inside the 10-yard line. But this USC team is kind of dangerous. Washington's kind of sneaky good. But I'm telling you tonight, Indiana, I saw something different in Indiana tonight. Mm-hmm. I think Indiana is pushing closer to tier one than they are fighting to be in tier. I think it's going to be fascinating to see what they do. Illinois is now out of the mix. Get out.
Not even in the conference anymore. They're in the MAC now. Got it.
But now we got Michigan, Indiana, USC, Washington.
That's
it, right?
I'm with you. And I would probably go Indiana, Michigan.
So you would put Indiana ahead of Michigan?
Yes, I would right now.
I actually would too.
I would go Indiana, Michigan, USC, Washington. And I think that is the second tier. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone, and I don't feel like I am.
Okay. LaNorris Sellers is back. Did you get to see any of that? I saw limited.
I saw limited. I saw him battling. I saw him miss a throw late. They are a one-man team right now.
They are. So it's not even fair to do that. The only reason I brought this up is college football is better with LaNorris Sellers in it, period. B,
glad he's on the field.
I'm glad he's on the field and he's healthy. That's actually A. B, college football is better for it. C, I did find it fascinating, and I don't want to do it right now. But I want to get your initial reaction on it, and I think we can circle back to this on Monday. I thought it was interesting. It's our wheelhouse. You're Thamel's our friend. Thamel texts us about our show. Thamel's our guy. But it's like the convergence of what we do when Thamel goes on game day this morning and he starts talking about, I talked to 25 NFL scouts executives and I polled them on who's your number one quarterback right now. And I thought it was interesting. He gave the caveat that last year he did this in early October or in October, just before we started our show, I think, or maybe it was around the first week we started.
Around then, yeah.
I vaguely remember us reacting to it. And it had it had happened a couple weeks ago. So it was early October. We started on October 22nd last year. We haven't even been around for 1 year. We've already got this awesome crew riding with us at 12:30 in the morning on Sunday. But he said that he polled 25 different scouts executives and for who their number one quarterback was. And I want you to listen to this list. Give me your quick initial reaction and a promise to everyone viewing, because I want to kind of go back and have a little time to process and think about it and look at it, and have a little bit of a discussion on it on Monday. Sellers had 8 votes, the most. Nussmeier 7. Mateer and Beck had 3. Drew Aller had 2. And the reason I think he started the whole thing was to figure out, like, have people gone from, I think in the preseason, a lot of people were, obviously Arch, potentially 2026 draft. We begged people not to listen. Didn't expect this. We did the whole Arch thing. We don't have to revisit that right now. I'm glad he had a great game today. I'm excited to see what he did, but most importantly, excited to see what he does against Florida. It's going to be interesting to see if Florida can re-rack it. But all that. There was no Klubnik in there, not shocking. I did find it interesting there was no mention of Mendoza. I could see that as because he was asking the number one quarterback. This wasn't like a ranking. It was just like who got votes. But Aller got 2. So it was Sellers with the most, Nuss with the second most, then a big drop off to Mateer, Beck with 3, and then Aller with 2, and Manning still got 1, which is fascinating to me.
It's all fascinating. And some of it, I saw a lot of pushback on X from people, and I get it about Dante Moore, the quarterback from Oregon, not getting any votes because the people are really high on him, and I get why they're really high on him. But let's keep in mind that the body of work was so small that I think these teams are still evaluating him. There may be guys out there who
has
feel
another
like
year, correct?
He's a sophomore. He played 1 year at UCLA. He started 4 games.
2023 he played. Yep.
He sat last year.
Yep.
And then now he's starting. So for a full-time starter, this is his first season. And we're 4 games in, 3 or 4 games, whatever.
And he looks flat out awesome, and they've played
amazing.
Absolutely nobody.
Well, let's get excited about it. But also I think it's, there's probably a reason about this. There's also some pushback about this list coming out so early. It's just something to talk about. I don't know why people are upset about it. It's a good conversation starter.
I guess my question to you real quickly is,
Sellers and Nuss is a push. Go ahead.
Is there one that shocked you the most or stood out to you the most? Because I don't think it surprised either. You and I have been talking about Sellers. What?
Don't put me in this spot. Yeah, it surprises me that 2 people think that Aller's the best quarterback in this draft. It surprises me that there was 2. It surprises me that there are any, to be honest with you. I haven't seen it. I do not see that. And I know the Penn State fans think I hate them, and everyone like Stanford Steve comes on. He's like, who do you hate more, LSU or Penn State, Mensch? I get it. I get all of it. I really do. I do not see a first overall pick, which I think the first quarterback's to go the first overall pick. It's usually what happens. In Drew Aller. I just haven't seen it yet. It doesn't mean it won't happen. It doesn't mean that I don't think he's talented. But yeah, it's surprising. I'm more surprised that he got 2 than that Sellers is in first place. Because I see the talent and I see what he's done in big games and when the game's on the line. I've seen that from LaNorris Sellers. Like, I don't want to be a Penn State hater. I'm not a Penn State hater. I really am not. I really would like to see Penn State win. But like the idea that I just don't get it with Drew Aller. I don't get it right now. He is not a mobile guy. I know that he can make some plays with his feet. He's not a mobile guy. He hasn't been overly accurate at times. Just how I feel.
I just did my job at a very high level.
You're just trying to stir the pot and fire me up. I get it.
No, I wasn't, but I found your spot tonight, and that's part of my job. It's not my whole job, but it's a part of my job. I told you we'll talk about it on Monday. All right, Syracuse, Clemson.
Such a dick.
You know my feeling on it. No, I'm not disagreeing with you at all, but it was nice to let you get some steam out. And I think there are some scouts in the league who agree with you. But I think the fascinating part is it doesn't appear, and I got to have conversations. I don't like having I don't like this guy conversation yet. It's early, and I want to see him play against Oregon. And I want to see him, has there been improvement? Right. So I want to see that. And we're about to start to find out because I've learned just about nothing so far. And I actually promised somebody of importance that I'm going to study Aller's tape, and I'm going to do it tomorrow, and I'm going to do it Monday, and it's got to be done by Monday for a reason.
I can't wait for you to watch the Villanova game where he completes 55.2% of his passes and throws a horrific pick.
So, and I'm prepared to watch that this week, but I was too busy watching Arch and obviously many other things this past week. And Villanova, Penn State wasn't on the top of the priority list until a person called and asked a favor, and I respect that person, have a great relationship with him, and I'm going to do that. Joseph Rawling thinks Allard couldn't run. Joseph, we got to talk. 4-5 speed, he said. It's cute. Okay, Clemson, Syracuse. I didn't expect to talk about this game because I honestly, and I do have a lot of respect for Syracuse. I thought Clemson was going to come out and like shut everybody up at home. Enough's enough. Now
I agree.
Now I wonder, like, is it even worth talking about? Let me make an official show announcement. And like, I love Clemson. I love a lot of people at Clemson. I truly hold a special place in my heart. Marissa and her children are from Greenville. Like, I lived there for a period of time. I have family there now. Like, I love so much of it. And it's not just because Clemson is where Clemson is as a program right now, but I can make a show announcement. We are no longer going to Clemson, Florida State on February 8th. And I was thrilled to go.
Or November 8th, yeah.
And November 8th, sorry. What did I say? February? November 8th. And quite honestly, something else, like Tate has a tournament, and it was a really tough decision that was being made. And so this was like done. So there it is. I promise to always be, curtain pulled aside. But we're not going, Mitch. And we'll try to find another game this fall. I know. But it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
They're 1-3, right?
I don't know how you feel about it. I think we're going to have a long conversation about some of these draft prospects. I will say that for the Monday show, I am interested to look at that defense from a draft standpoint and see how some of those draft prospects play in that game. It almost feels unfair to talk about it right now. I mean, to be clear, I thought Clemson was the best team in the country coming into the year. I thought they were the best team in the country, and it just hasn't gone that way. And we could sit here and tell you every reason why. But it's at this point, it just doesn't feel right to me to beat a dead horse.
Yeah, it's hard to watch because there's talent there, and I don't see a lack of effort. That's a weird part. I just don't see. I watch some of these teams, right? I watch Jackson Arnold come out and like lay his life on the line and play with reckless abandon, but like in the best possible way. And it's not beautiful and it's not perfect, but he just comes out and he gives them, I watch defenses from Auburn to Oklahoma to Michigan to even Nebraska, which was outmanned. I watch this like fire and fury and vicious. I watched Miami and then Florida. I watched Florida's offense suck. I watched them it's like a cancer. But I watched the defensive side trying to battle that cancer and going into like all the surgeries and everything, like to do anything it can to save the loved one. Truly.
Yeah.
And I watched Clemson. I see effort but like something was missing, and it's hard to watch because I'm looking at TJ Parker, and I'm not seeing a guy who like he's so talented and but like I'm not seeing someone like our Tom, what's his name?
Peter Woods.
No, Oklahoma. We just talked about R. Mason
Oh, yeah.
Thomas.
R. Mason Thomas.
Come
yeah.
in and like the life, like his life's on the line, like hell or high water. I don't know. Something's missing. And
They don't-
K-Part's playing great. K-Part's playing great individually. Woods and TJ Parker are great talents who flash, but I'm not seeing them dominate the way the top 10 draft prospects should. And Helt has played better than I actually thought watching the Purdue tape in the offseason. And Avion Terrell's had some great moments, but he got picked on early today. And you got two linebackers that are damn good. One's a damn good NFL prospect, the younger cat, and the older guy's a damn good college football. It's like, how are we not shutting shit down?
Yeah.
And I haven't even gotten to the offense. It got Antonio Williams back and has 4 returning starters in the offensive line, 7 guys that we can rotate and all that stuff. It's over. So you turn the page.
Yeah, no complimentary football.
I do want to say this, though. I really do want to say this. And I feel terrible for Steve Angeli because he went out and he put his fucking life on the line today. And he played brilliantly. Someone had to poke the holes that were in the, and he did it. And they had a great offensive game plan. And they got some dudes, man. They've got some weapons. That Daryl Gilcat, 6'3" junior, Jonte Cook, 6 foot 198 junior. That Dan Villari, former Michigan, transfer 2021, 6'4", 245, making plays. So I want to give them their love because they played their asses off on the road today against a wounded team that came out that looked like playing really hard. But yeah, that thing's getting ugly.
Yeah, no complimentary
And
football.
I'm with the people, by the way. I'm with the smarter people who see the bigger picture in all this. There's again a happy medium. Let's just get into it. Fuck it. Clemson. I went to Clemson games when I first started scouting in about 2001, 2002, 2003. And Clemson fans, and I can say this because I've got family and I'm a part of it in a certain way. Clemson fans had a lifelong inflated opinion of who they were in the football universe. Nationally, it was kind of a joke. Like you got your Death Valley and all that. The real ones in Baton Rouge. You guys are always middling. And Dabo came in and he changed everything. And even their bad seasons, they've won 10 games. I said this to someone today. They've had disappointing seasons by the new standard that Dabo created, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They have not done a bad coaching job until this year. Because coaching isn't just X's and O's. Coaching is getting everyone on the same page. Coaching, whether it like Cignetti's a madman. He's not for everybody. He's a different cat. But that's great coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh was a lunatic. Still is. Great coach. Urban did it his way. Nick did it his way. And Dabo's done it his way. And Dabo knows these results are a reflection of the captain of the ship. And when he gets up there and it makes those statements, he's talking to his team. He's letting him know, like, there's, go ahead, like that's some spite, and that gets the team going, us versus them. And that's worked before. And the effort's there, like, but it's not all clicking. But what are you going to do, Clemson? Who are you going to hire? It's a unique place, tucked away. Like, it's going to be a challenge. And so this expectation is, I've got to move on from Dabo. I understand. And the place that Dabo is vulnerable is he is not caught up. Or he's not, like, unfortunately, like, some of the people who did, Urban's not coaching in college football because of health, but also he looks at it. I've had conversations with a lot of guys who have left high ranking, like some of the best to do it. Harbaugh's not there because of the way, well, and because of what happened at Michigan. Urban's not coming back. Nick left. He's not coming back. It's a different world, and you got to adjust with it. And they've hired Kevin Kelly, and they've done some really good things, and they made a couple. But Dabo's going to have to change the whole, not his whole approach. Dabo's going to have to meet a little bit. If what's going on in college football is here and Dabo's here, he went there, he's going to have to come a little closer to here and get involved. As I'm watching Jim Nagy in Oklahoma create an NFL personnel department, and I'm watching the NIL for all these, and I'm watching LSU back up a brink, and I'm watching Texas Tech. Now, all of a sudden, I'm looking at Texas Tech. I'm like, damn, that's one of the top, maybe the top 10, 12 teams in the country. So there's going to have to be, or there doesn't, or Dabo can keep doing it his way. But the crazy part is he's got talent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's tricky.
So I'm going to give my take. I'm going to ask you, would you replace him, and do you think he's going to be replaced?
I would not replace him. I truly would not replace him. If I was someone with authority in Clemson, I would find a way, somehow, some way, to talk with Dabo and reason with, and to find a way to structure it within his moral beliefs and principles. That there's a way to do it principally, but we've got to, the college football is going here. We got to, you know. But again, the tricky part for me is, and he brought in a defensive coordinator, bud.
Listen, I got it. I don't want to be insensitive, but that conversation should have already happened. 4 losses last year, 4 losses the year before, 3 losses the year before that, 3 losses the year before that. This Clemson team hasn't been the Clemson that we thought was so good for years. I'm not that addicted to winning under Dabo right now because he hasn't been winning that many big games. The biggest game was what? SMU in the ACC championship that probably, I think, could have saved his job last year. If there's no expanded playoff and he doesn't get into the playoff, and we're looking at a 4-loss season, what are we talking about? And I agree.
But you weren't there before Dabo.
That's my next point.
I lived that.
Great.
Not personally, but I was down there. Like, and they were Wake Forest.
Great.
No, that's not fair.
Alabama.
They were one of those like NC States, and you know what I mean?
I know 100% what you mean.
They weren't Bama with Bear Bryant. We got to get back to the standard. They weren't USC with, back to with Robinson. We got to bring Carroll to get back to the standard, or Nick to get back to the Bear Bryant. They were never that.
I get that. That's fine. I get that. Okay. One of the downfalls about him building such a great program at Clemson, which he did, man. He changed the face of that school. I get it. He deserves all the credit in the world. The world is changing. And I think because of what he's got in that program too, in the conference that they play in, that the ACC, where Clemson is just always going to be or should always be competitive, I think that's an attractive job for a lot of young coaches. Let me ask you this. I'm telling you, Will Stein's coming from Oregon. He's going to coach.
I don't know if he can be a head guy. Like,
I know what the guys do. I know what the guy's doing there right now. He's not refusing, but he's not really using the transfer portal the way he should. He's losing 4 games.
Let me ask you, and I don't know this answer. What's the financial backing and support there?
I don't know.
Compared to the, I don't know either. I'd be curious.
My assumption is it's good. I don't know.
We've never had to truly find out, right?
No, I know they got talent on that roster. I know they got all kinds of talent.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing of like that, it really rubbed me the wrong way. And he's under a lot of pressure, and I get that. And we're all human beings. But the whole if Clemson's tired of winning thing. Huh. Really? Like you barely got into the ACC championship last year. Barely. You had Miami had to have a meltdown for you to get in.
Yeah, I'm not an apologist. I'm truly not. I'm really not. And I'm trying to see the big picture. I guess I'm just worried about the grass is greener. And what do we, I would have to know truly. What do we have support wise? Who are our boosters? What's our Matador club like? What's the LSU? What's the Red Elephant? What's the elephant? The Red Elephant Club? All of those. What is it?
Well, let me ask you this. Why? Does he not have talent? Does he need more resources to get more Wescos, to get more Antonio Williams, to get more TJ Parkers, to get more Peter Downs? Like he's got players, dude. If you're asking about resources to get more players, I don't know. I don't understand. He's already got players. He's got players.
Yeah.
They're not playing for him. It's not working. And
I don't think it's a lack of effort playing for him. I just wonder is the coach like, but then I see Tom Allen come in.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep going with this, but like, I look, I really want people to understand this. I take no joy in suggesting that someone, he's going to be fine financially, all that stuff. I get all that. I still take no joy in suggesting that a school should move on from fire someone. I just don't. I take no joy in it. But I mean, like, what are we doing here? I can't. I just can't sit here and be like, oh no, this is the right move if you want to be competitive and compete for national championships because he did it 10 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever it is. It's been a bad run, man. A lot of guys would have been gone by now. And he did build a great program there. But the fallback of that is now it's going to be attractive for other coaches and he's not meeting his own standard.
Hey, Tucker, where are we on the Bose sponsorship? When it's 1 a.m, I like to throw hats on, but I can't because I got this stupid headset on. Thank you, Tucker. People can't hear you.
Jesse, by the way, Jesse's calling me out, man.
Tucker's the best.
Jesse's calling me out. Yes, I did hype up Clemson all summer, man. I absolutely did. Absolutely did. And it just, I don't know what I look. And maybe that's why I'm a little bit like tilted the way I am because I look at that roster and I look at the potential of this team and it hasn't come close to matching.
Yeah, no, it's a massive failing. Period. It's a massive failing. I'm not ignoring it. I'd have to actually know more about what we have there. And I'm not talking about the buyout. I'm talking about like structurally year in and year out to bring in someone who's young and hungry.
Oh, you're more okay. I get what you're saying now. You want to know what kind of a candidate you're going to attract.
I want to know what kind of candidate I'm going to attract, and then can I support that candidate the way I need to support him? Or am I better off trying to work within these confines? So Dan's telling us it's 1:50 in the morning. I just want to say this.
I think it's an hour and 53 minutes we've been
or whatever
on the stream.
It's 12:50. Thanks, Dan. I know the clubs are waiting for you in LA.
He's so pissed.
I'm on a run. No, I'm pissed about a lot of stuff, but I'll get over it. Pissed because I want to go to Clemson.
Yeah, that was going to be fun.
It's going to be
Although I did text you during that LSU game and say, can you please get me to an LSU game? That Florida LSU game. I was like, I want to go down and see this. This would be fun.
There is a 4-day weekend in October when my kids have off and we could all go down. I think it's LSU, South Carolina, I think is that weekend. I don't know. Well, let's talk, Mitch. Let's talk. Let's regroup. I want to say this. Not a lot of teams in the top played, and the one that did, Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, directional school, Miami, had the big, the nice win. Georgia, Oregon is up next. They beat Oregon State today, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big, yeah. Florida State, Texas. Texas played Houston Baptist, right?
Sam Houston.
Sam Houston, sorry.
Yeah, Florida State played Kent State.
So Tucker's still following here. So not a lot going on there in the top 10. Okay.
No.
And Texas A&M had to bye. But Illinois knocked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say this, and we'll get going. Illinois is out. And then you had, and then this is off the AP poll. Iowa State 12. Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, that's egregious. Okay. But everyone else I can live with. I re-rank them, but I don't want to do that show right now. We can come back to some of it later. But like, I honestly want to see Penn State play next week. I want to see Penn State, Oregon, and I want to see, who'd you say A&M's playing?
Auburn?
Yeah, and whatever. So
Auburn is Auburn. I want
to see Texas play Florida next week. Does Florida have any fight left? But that defense is going to give Arch all sorts of trouble if Arch isn't playing the way he did today. But my point in all of this is, so with two teams out, one because Illinois got drumsticked, and two because I refuse to have Iowa State in my top 12. Just like, I love Matt Campbell. I think with the job he does is phenomenal. Just get out of here.
No, it's not there.
Top 12 at this point. Two teams that I would push hardest to be in, or I would just vote for myself. Texas Tech has got to be in the top 12. And Indiana has got to be in the top 12 right now. That's ahead of Ole Miss. That's ahead of Alabama. That's ahead of Tennessee right now.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you this. I think you can make a legitimate argument that Texas Tech should be ahead of Texas. But it's not going to matter. It'll play its way out. I'm just saying, based off what we've seen. But Texas has more talent. We know that. But I don't. And anyway, I would vote with me kicking out Iowa State, and with me and with us agreeing, everyone in the world agreeing that Illinois is out of the top 12. My next two in would be Texas Tech and Indiana. Would you have any problems with those, or would you put someone else in?
I have no problem with those. I think Alabama's better than I thought they were after that loss. I like Ole Miss, but I think Texas Tech, there would be the next two in for me.
But
Texas Tech and Indiana would absolutely be the next two in. Because
Ole Miss is better than I thought. Mm-hmm. Alabama, don't you dare turn your back on Alabama. Mm-hmm. Tennessee, with that loss, I think everyone who's sane agrees that loss to Georgia, even though at home with that stadium, was Tennessee's a legit top 12 team potentially. USC just scored a touchdown after a long injury delay. I don't know the details on it. But USC looks really good. They're sneaking around the coop, and Washington's sneaking around the coop. Those are 15 teams? No, 12, 13 Ole Miss, 14 Alabama, 15 Tennessee, USC 16, Washington 17.
One team that's a sleeper right now that a lot of our listeners have been hitting me up about.
Missouri.
Keep an eye on Missouri, man.
I gotcha.
Keep an eye on Missouri. I think they're right. I mean, I'm getting a lot of
drumstick. Evan Hawley like drumsticked. That's gonna be our new phrase.
Yes. So keep an eye on Missouri, man.
All right. This has been fun. Even the parts that were awkward and uncomfortable, I thought were still kind of fun. Mensch, you're always 5 stars to me. 5 stars, Mensch. We'll see you guys. Hey, thank you, everyone. Our chat is still going strong, but we appreciate all of you. We'll be back Saturday night, but check us out. We got our show Monday morning as well. So we'll be around all week. See you. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York.